Good evening and welcome to the Bidinators podcast. It is Monday, June 24th, 2019. My name is Jacqueline. Arthur's here.
Yo.
Ryan's at a quote unquote meeting.
He never says a meeting of what though, right?
It's a meeting of dicks.
Yeah.
It's a meeting of dicks.
Why not? Fuck, man. Live your life.
Yeah, I mean, good for you, Ryan.
Best, bro. Live your fucking best.
We don't judge you. Just, you don't have to hide it from us. We accept you the way you are.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been kind of a weird weekend. We had actually a big weird week in Toronto. Mm-hmm. We had our big parade for the Raptors that won the championship, and this is what's annoying me about this. I didn't read the article because just the headline made me mad. It said what do you call those guys? Those lawyers that you see them on TV and they're just trying to get you a good settlement.
Like the injury attorneys?
Yeah, an injury lawyer, that kind of guy. So basically he's saying that because there was no access to, liquids, water, food, that there was a shooting and there was a near stampede that, people are going to have a chance to sue the city of Toronto. You know what? First of all, you're going down to a parade that you knew like at least 1 million people were going to be at.
Yep.
Bring a couple bottles of water, asshole. Don't blame the city that you got dehydrated. What the fuck?
I mean, I'll say this right now. It was piss poor planned. Like it was. The planning and shit. Like now I'm not one for suing people over fucking piss poor planning. Like that's ridiculous. It was just a parade. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
How could you make that any better?
Barricades?
But people climbed the barricades.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Although, I was just at Pride yesterday,
yeah.
And the barricades seemed to work, and there was 1 million people there, according to the estimates.
I don't know. I mean, I expected the whole Raptors parade to be a shit show, and I wasn't disappointed. I mean, unfortunately, Liz was there. You know what I mean? She was right there. She was caught in the fucking stampede and stuff. So,
was she just happened to be working, or she went to the parade?
No, she went. So maybe I'm a little biased about the whole fucking thing, but I think they fucked right up. You're talking again, What were the Raptors promoting the entire time? We're Canada's team. We're Canada's team. This team's for everyone, not just Toronto. So you don't think people were coming from the States and shit. I was reading on Reddit that there was fans in the UK flying here and shit. There was millions of fucking people.
I can imagine when I saw that freaking video of Nathan Phillips Square, which is our city hall and the big square that they have there. And I just thought of being in the middle of that. I thought, what a horrible idea that would be. I couldn't even imagine being there.
I didn't go because I knew it was going to be like that. Now, obviously, I understand.
I think people bring in little kids, and of course they got separated from their little kids.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, people fucking... Because, again, I heard a couple Americans say, oh, my God, a shooting in Canada, blah, blah, blah. But, it's people forget what happens, every year in fucking Caribana. You get a lot of people in Toronto, and it's hot. Fucking people just start doing dumb shit.
And I said this stuff, and somebody scuffs your sneakers, man, and that's it.
I fucking said this, and I was accused of some fairly horrendous stuff, and I was like, no, you're not listening to me. I'm not saying this is a people thing. I'm saying this is a fucking Toronto thing. You cannot get large groups of people in Toronto together without something fucking stupid happening.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. It's why I don't really go to large things in Toronto because
I've never gone to Caribana. I haven't gone to Santa Claus Parade in decades because it got too much.
Right? I just don't do it. And I've seen fights break out at the fucking Santa Claus Parade.
Yeah. I almost had a fight at Santa Claus Parade. That's when I stopped going.
Right? I'm not for that shit. And I fucking knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew that they weren't going to fucking prepare. And they could have barricaded. I mean, barricaded.
They should have did better. I do agree. The barricades should have been better.
Right?
And because they didn't barricade at the beginning, right? So this is the problem. So the buses literally could not get through at a good pace. That delays everything, and now people are there instead of being there 2 hours. They're there 5 hours.
Yeah, Liz waited in Nathan Phillips Square for 3 hours until the fucking bullshit happened, and she had to run out of there because
Yeah, that's scary. At least she was okay. Yeah. At least everybody nobody died.
No. But I mean, that's still not a great.
And they haven't caught the person that they actually think it was, right? Because from what I read, they got 3 or 4 people right off the beginning, but they were looking for a fourth fourth
Yeah,
person.
they detained three people, and they were looking for a fourth suspect. That was the last thing I remember hearing.
The white guy got away.
It
was a white guy they didn't get.
Yeah, but I'm just not surprised. Like, not.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised either. I'm glad it kind of happened more on, I guess I don't want to say the peripheral, but like not right in the middle of the fucking
middle. Yeah.
Of the people.
Yeah.
And there were some nice videos that came out of it. Like a kid got separated from his dad and his mom, and people held up, kept the boy to the side, and they started chanting, "We found Landon, we found Landon," so that Landon's dad could get to him. So that was nice. Like the people in Toronto are great.
Oh yeah,
for the most part.
I mean, we're still Canadians, you know what I mean? But like, I'm just saying, there's something wrong with the fucking city. Like, there's just something wrong with gathering big groups. The thing about Toronto too,
I've never lived anywhere other than Toronto and Oshawa, but I will tell you that when the heat starts to get high in Toronto, it is a different type of people, and it is a different type of city.
Acting like fucking idiots.
The heat makes us crazy. It makes us crazy.
I don't get it. I've never understood it. Like, I really don't. I mean,
trust me, I do. I get mad. I was at Pride yesterday. This lady's climbing on my back, right? And I'm like, no. And then she says to me, because we're clapping and waving our flags, she says to me, "Can you tell her," meaning my sister, "to not clap? I'm trying to take pictures." And I'm like, "No, we're here to celebrate. Take your picture somewhere else." Like, fuck off, bitch. After you climb on my back, I'm not going to be nice to you.
I don't know. I mean, but it was a shit show. Yeah. I mean, I'm pumped the Raptors won. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm fucking stoked. I'm fucking stoked we won. Like, that fucking series.
Nice for the fans.
I don't give a shit if you don't fucking like sports. Our fucking run to the championship had so much fucking drama. Like, a movie couldn't have done what the fuck in that.
Yeah, you're talking about the ultimate underdogs.
Yeah, right. Like, not even that fucking shot versus the 70s. Oh my fucking god! Like, again, even if you're not a fan of sports,
and despite all the supposed, like I said, I don't watch it that much, but all I saw on the internet, and not just coming from Toronto fans, about how bad the refereeing was against Toronto.
Oh well, that's just NBA fans. Like they're never happy with the reffing. Like it's seriously, it's so messed up. It's
like I said, I saw like professionals saying it. So like I saw like actual basketball players that didn't ever play for Toronto, and they're saying that's a bad call.
Look at basketball players on the court and look at them crying to the refs. Like, of course they're going to say that was a bad call. They're still salty about when they were fucking playing.
They don't like, my boss and her friend that work at my work as well. Oh my gosh, reading their posts about talking about a Jamaican lady and a lady from St. Vincent. No, not St. Vincent, Grenada. Okay. And they do not like the black referee that was always at the Toronto games. Oh my god, this black man's back. They were so mad at him.
Tony Brothers. Fucking Tony Brothers.
That's brother. They're like, this brothers.
Yeah, he makes the games interesting. That's for fucking sure.
They did not like him.
But no, it's cool. And I mean, I didn't expect any less. I really didn't expect any less from the fucking.
It's nice, and I mean, look, as I've repeated many times, I'm not a Toronto fan, but I couldn't see any reason why, money aside, Kawhi would not sign again with Toronto, because you'll never get the love anywhere else.
He can make more money with us than he can anybody else.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I know sometimes it's like location plus money, right? But you'll never, any city you go to in the NBA will never love you the way Toronto and Canada love you.
It's the same thing that happened with the Toronto Maple Leafs last year when we got John Tavares, right? Like, the New York Islanders could offer him way more money. You know what I mean? And he decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go home. Like, I want.
Well, you can understand that's like
that's cool.
Any kid growing up in Toronto, your dream is to play for the Leafs, right? He's got the chance. He's still gonna make a lot of money.
He's making $11 million a year. Like, he's not fucking. He's not hurting.
He's going down to minimum wage.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, he's definitely not a frequenter of a fucking soup kitchen. That's man, I don't know.
So anyway, it's been interesting. It's nice, and my favorite part was when Doug Ford came out and got booed by like 2 million people.
Yeah.
And he said, it's just a few bad apples.
Oh, fuck.
How does it feel to be booed by 2 million people?
Do you know what I mean? Like, the response to Trudeau walking out, I was
my God.
You know what? I actually want to say something. Where the fuck did 45 and Trudeau meet? Were they in China? Or was it down in the States? Where the fuck are they right now? Okay.
He was in Washington, I think, this weekend.
And that greasy motherfucker kept calling him Justin. And I was like, the fucking disrespect.
Yeah.
Like, the motherfucking disrespect, bro. Like, he's a fucking head of a country. Like, you can't call him by his first name, like, doing official press conferences.
He does that. What the fuck? I think he does that to,
like undermine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally
to take away his power, basically.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I was pissing myself laughing at it because of that whole reason, right? Like, you fucking, like, you child.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah,
100%.
It just reminded me because, you know, JT walked out to indifferent fucking, like, you know, there's some
I heard
boos,
some
there was some cheers. Like,
some cheers.
I was like, okay, yeah, he's the prime minister. That sounds about right. Yeah. Doug Ford, they did not fucking like you there, buddy.
And then he looked so miserable the entire time. I'm like, oh, is it the booze or your jeans are too tight, buddy? Like, what's going on?
He literally has no idea what's fucking going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he doesn't follow the Raptors.
Right? No, he's fucking. What do you call after school fucking basketball programs, like the fucking Hug a Thug program or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Like he like fucking he's no good. He's no fucking good.
No.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, and I loved when he said, and I'm sorry for anybody listening that's not from Toronto or Canada, but there was one more thing I just want to say about Doug Ford. He's so butthurt. So they canceled all this government funding. And they cut the healthcare budget by a lot, and they canceled and changed the way they were giving benefits to autism families, people with, you know, children with autism. And the families are really upset because basically they went from saying like having $5,000 a year to put their kids in school and education to like, you know, maybe $1,500. And he's like, we're giving more money to these autism people than ever, and they're still protesting and they're mad. Like, what the hell? They're not thankful for anything. And I'm like, yeah. Welcome to politics.
Yeah, right. He's a fucking moron.
3 more years.
Yeah.
And he's not going to call an election early. Trust me.
Fuck no.
Because his numbers are never going to go up, so he's never going to call that election early.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's have a little update. We've talked extensively about this family. I don't like to remember their name because they're horrible, but this is the family from Alberta. They had their son Ezekiel who had meningitis, and they refused to take him to a doctor, and they fed him like garlic oil and lemon juice or some stupid shit. And of course, you know, sad little Ezekiel, 19 months old, passed away. So last week or the week before, they were in court, and there was an angry exchange. So basically, the father is representing himself. He doesn't have a lawyer anymore. He's representing himself. And he's now trying to, this is the thing that he says. You know, he's asking the ambulance attendant this, okay? So, is it fair that you did not take into consideration the amount of time Ezekiel had not had air in that ambulance in your findings? He's saying that they didn't give him oxygen in enough times.
Okay.
Right? And the ambulance person says there's no evidence that Ezekiel did not have air. Oh, and this is the pathologist. So another pathologist from Indiana is basically saying that, you know, it didn't matter. The lack of oxygen was not an issue. Yeah. Right? And like this, like, are you kidding me? Like, this guy is like yelling at this pathologist and this ambulance guy, basically trying to put the blame on them.
Well, of course, he's a fucking child murderer. Like, his own fucking child. You know, like, I get it. At this point in time, like, I can understand why they'd even be trying this. It's just any way to save
he's going up now. They'd gone to a regular trial. They'd been found guilty. The Supreme Court overturned the convictions last year, so now they're at a new trial where it's, I guess, their last chance, their appeals before one judge alone. But like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, they would have to do this. I mean, how can you fucking live with yourselves? Like, your bullshit decisions killed your fucking kid, and you've kind of doubled down on them, you know, like with going and trying to teach at seminars and shit.
And
like,
he's still appearing at them, though. These homeopathic conventions. Like, ew.
That's kind of what I mean. Like, he's straight doubled down on it. So, like, I can understand why they're doing like this.
He's probably seen as like a freedom fighter in that group, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
He's like, you know, like you're martyr. Like,
he's absolutely a martyr.
He's doing it all for the cause, you know, and they're trying to set him up.
It's I don't fucking get it. Like, I don't get it. I mean, how is it that people, and I mean, I don't like saying this, but like in less educated parts of the fucking world, like they trust in vaccines. Like, fuck, man, a bunch of their kids start dying. They go, holy fucking shit, medicine save us.
You know what I mean? In like third world countries like Africa and Bangladesh and India wouldn't line their kids up for hours to get a free vaccine.
That's what I mean. You know what I mean? You know, like, you know what I'm saying? And these fucking idiots. Like, I still don't get the logic behind it.
And they think they know more. Like, you don't know more.
It's this like weird arrogance that they
have. And I get having, look, I have no problem if you look at like Big Pharma and you're a little mistrustful, because you're right. Big Pharma does try to give us opioids and all these drugs we don't necessarily, antidepressants and all these things that maybe not all of us need. Of course, there are real people that need some of these things. I'm never going to say that they're useless drugs.
Yeah.
Do the amount of people taking antidepressants need them? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a statistician. But,
I'll flat out say no.
I would say probably not everybody needs them either. Maybe you just need a lifestyle change in some cases.
No, like again, that whole aspect's correct. Like, you know what I mean? Don't trust, like not trust, but like don't buy into that shit. But at the same point in time, understand like this is medicine and it fucking works.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. Don't gamble with your child. If it's one thing, if you want to treat your meningitis with garlic oil, great. Your child needs to be able to, it doesn't have an advocate for themselves. The only advocate is the parent, and when the parent plays scientist and doctor with their kid's life.
Well, that's kind of the whole fucking thing about being a parent. Like, you are literally responsible for a life. Like, and if that life dies under your watch, like under your own fucking like bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, that's murder. That's fucking murder.
Yes.
I don't. Because we can't be allowing people to have fucking kids and then just let their kids die. I'm like, okay, like it was your fucking kid. Like,
kids do stupid shit too. Look, like I remember you used to sleepwalk and they had to put the special lock on the balcony door. Right now, I get the first time that happened, they're not aware it's going to happen, and little Arthur goes over the balcony. That's not anybody's fault. That's a true accident.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right now they know Arthur walks around in his sleep, and they still don't put a lock on the door. Now you're responsible,
right? Well. Yeah, I mean, you are being negligent at that point. But I mean, if I fucking come home and I'm sick and you're just like, no, we're going to give you some fucking whatever. I'm going to burn some sage around you and sing this fucking old song. Like,
to the point this child got. Like, I get your first, I can understand the first maybe day or two. With kids, little kids like that, you have to watch their fevers especially, because the fevers can turn into brain damage very, very quickly. So, like, I could see your first, okay, we're going to do vitamin C and garlic oil. When that fever keeps climbing and is not coming down, take that child to a hospital, to a doctor, a walk-in clinic, something.
It's like, with the advancements in medical science and where we've come in life, it's these people have forgotten what like a true like the infant death rate used to fucking be. You know what I mean? Like we just don't know what it was like when it was like literally
more than half.
9 out of 10 fucking births. You know what I mean? Like these kids ain't fucking making it. Like as unfortunate as it is, but it's so fucking true.
Go back to Dickensian England.
You know? Like fucking. When I was in Ireland, they said something about the Guinness guy, like 21 kids, but only like fucking like 8 of them survived. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's fucking crazy. Because now kids don't die. Like, I mean, sorry, not that rate. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I do kind of feel that way. It's just this hubris. Like, we feel like
everything going from. You're talking about a pretty. I mean, I'm assuming they were fairly well off family, right? They have, and this is what you see with a lot of these anti-vaccine people. You're coming from people that have pretty decent jobs, usually upper middle class.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're like doing these crazy things. Whereas like poor people, like how I grew up, you took your vaccines and you went to the doctor because you had to. What are you going to do?
Yeah, right. Can't not. Like, I don't know. It's fucked up. It's dumb. I just wish both these people were rotting in fucking prison. In all honesty,
I really do.
Like, it's aggravating as all fucking hell to me that they killed their fucking kid.
I just hope that I think they have another child. I just hope they don't have any more. Like, just stop.
And it's like fucking that. Like that kid. Sorry, not fucking sorry. Should have been taken from him. Don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. You don't deserve that fucking kid.
Well, and we've seen cases like that where people have been like abusive, or we're talking about real physical abuse, and they've had their kids taken away straight off, or if they've been, if they know that they've been in a relationship with, say, a pedophile, and they have a baby, they take that child right away. This is the same thing, in my opinion. Your child is still in danger.
Yeah. No, I'm in complete agreement. Like I can't fucking stand that shit. And again, like I'm not even paternal or anything like that. Like I don't have kids. Like I don't have a horse in this fucking race.
You just have empathy and
like, you know what I mean?
Human life, though.
Kids are fucking innocent. Like they don't deserve that shit. Like
that's the worst of it. And you're right. Like when you said your only job as a parent, as soon as I got pregnant, I'm not a healthy person. But as soon as I got pregnant, I ate healthy. I took the vitamins I was supposed to take. I don't like to drink milk. I drink the freaking vitamin or the calcium infused milk or orange juice. I did everything that I could because my only job is to do what I could to make sure I had a healthy baby. It's not my baby's fault. No. If I'm a fat obese bitch and ends up with diabetes or something, right? Exactly. That's my fault.
Thank you. Like it's a fairly easy concept. It's not.
Trust me, and I was so good that I was skinnier after I had my children. After I had my son, I was 16 pounds lighter, and after I had my daughter, who I only gained, and people don't believe me, but this is 100% truth, I only gained a pound with my daughter the entire pregnancy because I was 30 pounds lighter after I had her. Granted, I gained it all back, but and more. Yeah. But it can be done, And I mean, luckily I wasn't a smoker. I never was a drinker. So like those things I didn't miss any of those things. I understand when you have to quit smoking, it's a lot harder. But, I wasn't a drinker. So I didn't have to fight drinking. I was not a drug taker. I didn't have to fight, taking the heroin or anything like that. But, I ate healthy and I did what I could. That's what you have to do. So, anywho, let's talk about...
sorry, I just say brandish all these holistic doctors as witch doctors and fucking, you know what I mean?
Just I can't even believe that they should be like I really think that should be against the law.
Yeah, just outlaw this shit already, because it's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and what you can buy off the internet and what these I don't want to get into it, but like all these Instagram and YouTubers and all these like quote unquote influencers that sell these stupid things online.
Yeah,
that are not like government approved. Like you don't know what they're doing to you.
Yep.
And you're just taking it to lose weight. Like I saw one last week that Amber Rose was saying it's she's pregnant, like fully pregnant. And she's like, oh, it helps you with your bloating when you're pregnant. And like, you don't know what it's doing. You don't know if that's safe for you to take, let alone safe for a baby to have while it's growing inside your stomach and developing.
Yep.
What the hell is wrong with you? Anyway, okay, let's go on to another person that I like to say, what the hell is wrong with you? Alex Jones. So the families of the Sandy Hook victims, of course, the horrible mass shooting where I can't remember how many children, but like all these little children got murdered by this sadly mentally ill person. Killed a whole bunch of children. They're suing the families because Alex Jones has repeatedly said it was a hoax, that they were actors, that it never happened. So they've sued him, and then they've been, I don't know, what do you call it? Subpoenaed, I guess. Files were subpoenaed.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Is that the word? Anyway, he had to hand over documents. And I guess these were all electronic files. I don't know if it was on a hard drive, a computer, a laptop, whatever. He had to hand it over. The lawyers took a look at the evidence, and on there they found child pornography.
Oh, fuck. I wonder what he's going to say.
Well, here's the quote. You're trying to set me up with child porn. I'll get your ass. $1 million, you little gang members, $1 million to put your head on a pike. This is and he put a picture of the lawyer for the Sandy Hook victims online and said, I'm going to kill ...
Huh. Interesting. I mean, fuck it. I mean, the porn could be his. I'm not here to make that statement or not. You know what I mean?
We're not forensic,
I don't have access to shit. I ain't going to fucking... But, like, he can't be saying that, man. Like,
that literally was a threat. And to say $1 million, that's an offer. That's hey, guys, kill this guy and you get $1 million from Alex Jones.
Because his following is fucking nuts. Like,
that's how I read that, right? No?
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And, I mean, again, his fucking fan base are literal, like, crazy people. They're fucking nuts. So that has to be taken serious. Like, you can't be doing that.
His lawyer, Alex Jones' lawyers, this is his quote. Mr. Jones was upset. He did not threaten Mr. Matai. He spoke in a compassionate fashion. I didn't see any compassion there.
I mean, and he wrote this online, or like, how did Alex Jones say this? Was he like recorded saying it?
I don't know where he said it. Where he said it online? On a broadcast, on his broadcast.
Okay.
So I guess online, one of his video broadcasts. So.
I can see the lawyer's point of view then. Like if he took the time to like write this up and tweet it out there, you know what I mean? I'd be like, yo, like that's fucked. You can't like
a little more premeditated.
But the whole like saying it was a thing of passion. Like, I could see that. I could see somebody ranting, especially, like, again, we're talking about Alex fucking Jones. You know what I mean? Like,
gets riled up.
If you've ever actually watched him and not his clips, but his whole thing is that, like, rage. Like, he just rages out and starts fucking, you know, flying off the handle, yelling all kinds of crazy fucking nonsense. So I kind of understand it. I mean, I still think it's fucking wrong and immoral to do, but I think he's going to get his comeuppance for this whole Sandy Hook thing, and I hope he does.
This is me too. And I mean, it's getting every story that comes out on this just gets worse and worse for Alex Jones.
Because, like, he was displaying pictures of, like, fucking, like, the kids and stuff. Like, that's fucked up, man. Like,
you know what I mean? Their dead bodies?
No, I don't think he went that far. Okay. But, like, just as he was slandering the parents and saying it was a crisis and fucking, like, you know what I mean?
That was horrible. I remember when that happened, I literally had to leave the room when that would come on the news because just seeing their little faces, you know, it was so sad. Like 6 years old.
Yeah,
you know?
No, it's fucking nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very sad.
I don't know. Like, conspiracy theorists have always been just
some of the ones you need to leave alone. If you want to be a conspiracy theorist and you want to say things are inside jobs, I'm like, whatever, go for it. You want to say, like, even the Las Vegas shooting, you know, whatever, go for it. When it involves, like, you know, a dozen dead children, 6 years old, I think you should just maybe learn not to say anything, because it didn't change any gun laws. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody said this is the one that's going to change the gun laws. It didn't. So your side won anyway. What are you worried about?
That's just fucking crazy people. Like, that's just Americans. You know what I mean? It has to be about guns one way or another. No, my thing, like, just with that, it's almost like you can't just leave these fucking people alone. Like, they need to be fucking monitored, because almost everything that's happened in the last little bit, Christchurch, you know what I mean? That guy was fucking whack job, fucking eco-fascist, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's, I've always kind of thought that with them. Like, I watch these conspiracy theory documentaries, and you listen to these people fucking talk, and it's like, how are you not, like, locked the fuck away?
You know, I always liked watching. I watched a couple times the Loose Change back in the early 2000s, I guess that came out.
Okay.
Which was fine. Did you ever watch that? Do you know what that one is?
No, I don't think so.
It's the one about how 9/11 was an inside job. But the way the guy delivers it, he never gets riled up. He's never frothing at the mouth. And he makes some interesting points, right? And you're like, okay, I can kind of see why people have questions. Yeah. So, like, I understand why people are 9/11 truthers.
Oh, no, same here. Like,
100%. I understand why. And as long as you're not frothing at the mouth and looking insane, then I'll give you a valid listen. You know what I mean?
It's just, if you go on YouTube, really, because they love fucking YouTube for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, there are literal fucking, like, these people are nuts. Like, they're dangerous. Like, they're those guys that are making bombs and mailing them to fucking people in Congress and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you remember that movie Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson back in the, I guess that was 2000s, late 90s?
I think so.
Before the internet really got big. Like, I mean, the internet was starting, but it was like, you know, this is a guy who was not on the internet and got all his information through radio and magazines. And, you know, now the internet has made it a billion times more dangerous.
I just always thought they were kind of fucking dangerous. And, I mean, I definitely got some fucking validity in that in the last few years of some of the crazy fucking people coming around.
Because there's, like, no checks and balance. This is the thing that's scary about some of these things. Like, you can literally go online and you can say whatever you want without any kind of proof. You want.
And, like, you know, I don't think it's like some huge fucking explosion of people coming around. I just think it's now they can all congregate in their little fucking echo chambers online and just empower each other to do this shit. It's the same with, like, the whole incel thing. Like, no one, like, and even me, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm fucking Johnny Internet, but, like, I'm fairly versed in, like, the seedier shit on the internet. And I only started hearing that term, like, in the last 4 or 5, 6 years. You know what I mean?
I think the first time I heard incel was that Elliot guy.
That kid, right? Yeah. And, like, because these people are allowed these echo chambers where they can just
get to be alone.
It attracts people that are willing to fucking, commit crime.
And then, you know, it's not, I don't want to say educated, because I'm not trying to make it seem like, you know, I'm like some freaking university graduate, but just like people that are willing to read and look and learn. Then you easily to fall prey to some of these things. Like, you see so many people, especially in the public, that believe in, like, the flat earth theories and stuff.
Right.
And you're like, what the hell? Why would you believe in the flat Earth? You know?
Because again, that right there, like all this kind of stuff, it attracts those people that are also looking for power. It's same like with cultists and like even religions, as far as I'm concerned. Like this is how even religion recruited. You find these people who they're not like, again, not to like question their intelligence or anything like that, but they're just more susceptible to believing somebody who is so fucking convinced in what it is they're telling you. And this kind of level of thinking attracts it. And that's how you get a guy like Alex Jones, who like was just emboldened by his echo chamber, because now you have, 10,000 people going, yeah, man, you're fucking right. I noticed that. And then it's 1 million people. And YouTube comes out and it's fucking tens of millions of fucking people.
Years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago, Scott watched, we watched I don't want to say documentary, a video that Alex Jones put out about the New World Order or whatever with the Bandenberg group.
Yep.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever heard of the Bandenberg group. And, it was fine. I watched it. I was like, okay, yeah, he's got some good points. We were never like 100% Alex Jones #1 fans. But, I mean, that was a reasonable video. I don't know what happened to him. He went worse. He went crazy.
It's exactly that. He sat in his echo chamber of, like, he's no different than fucking Jim Jones. He's just saying different shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's just one of those people. He was just attracted to the fucking light. And these assholes like just latched onto him, like, because again, I look at these people.
What would be like in 2019?
Sorry, what?
What would Jesus be like in 2019? You know, like if Jesus was a real man that existed, maybe not the Son of God. You know, obviously, Arthur and I don't believe he was the Son of God. I do kind of believe there was a real Jesus, though.
Oh, probably, guaranteed.
You know, what would he be like in 2019?
But no, I believe there's like 100, 200,000 people named Jesus. So like, let's hammer this one out. But,
okay, Jesus, the quote unquote, Son of God, and his following of, they weren't Christians then, but they became the Christians. You know, what would he be like today? You know,
he'd be a fucking crazy person. I wouldn't listen to that fucking clown. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I died.
Well, yeah.
I died 3 days ago.
Anybody who comes out now and says they're the Messiah or they're the Son of a God or they are a God on earth, we look at them like they're freaking mental.
Yeah, you're fucking nuts. You're crazy. And again, if you come at me and you're like, yo, I died 3 days ago, I'm going to stab you in the fucking forehead.
Fucking zombie.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's license to kill shit right there. Like, I'm not fucking around. Yo, I died 3 days ago. Yeah, cool. Done. Fuck you, zombie.
Well, I mean, we've seen cases through history where people were quote unquote dead and, were not dead. They did come back to life because,
Don't fucking tell me. Stab you right in the forehead. I don't give a shit.
Okay, so let's talk about this story. I don't. Okay, I'll just say it. Okay, so we've got she's the founder of a British climate change activism group. So, she's obviously dialed into the climate, the economy, there's not enough drugs, there's not enough food for people, there's flooding, there's extreme heat. She's worried about this, which all of us should be. Every single person on earth should be worried about this. So I definitely support her in that. Her newest, I guess, activism that she's going to do, she's going to have a pledge not to have any biological children. So she's always wanted to have kids with her partner, but her and her partner have decided that they'll not have any children, possibly adopt or foster, because there's so many children in need. Yep. But for her personally, it's about being able to put her time and resources into activism. It's activism, and to make certain that she's not bringing children into a world where who knows what's going to happen in the climate in the next 50 years.
Fair enough. Yeah. That's cool. Like, that's kind of how I'm living. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not with the activism shit, but it's kind of the same. Like, I don't want them. Like, and if I do, maybe I'll adopt, because there's a shit ton of kids out there that don't have loving families.
Well, and it is, so. I remember, I was pregnant with my daughter on 9/11, and I remember thinking, what kind of world am I bringing a child into? Yeah. And I kind of did in some ways, worry that I was making a huge mistake. I already had Logan. I was really kind of worried about, and the world hasn't gotten any better.
Nope. Fuck no, it hasn't.
And climate change is a real thing. We see it with our own eyes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it, and I know more and more millennials are choosing not to fucking have kids because of that reason.
Yeah.
I can remember being in high school and a lot of my friends sharing that exact sentiment. Like, this world's fucked. Like, why would I want to raise a kid? Now, most of them have kids because of, dumb, drunken decisions and what have you. But, at least they were at least thinking that. Like, they were at least even, like, we were at least conscious even enough then to be like, yo, like, this is, like, there's not enough food. There's not enough jobs. Well, there's not enough fucking space.
Back when I was a teenager, I was never going to have children. Mm-hmm. That was just the thing because I didn't want kids. But then I thought, if I ever have kids, I'll just have 2 children, which would be a replacement child for my husband and myself. Yeah, because I thought, keep your population at least. But which I managed to have, but that was not my intent when I had them. So I mean, it is a thing people have been thinking about for a long time. Maybe never gone super public with. She's got 450 people who have signed up to also be on a birth strike.
Yeah, fucking A. I mean, you call it a strike. I think that's kind of fucking pompous. You know what
I
mean?
That was fairly, my only worry. And to make such a
fairly arrogant
about it.
You know what I mean? Like, congratulations. Like, you're not the only one. Like, I don't believe that me and Elizabeth deserve any recognition. You know what I mean? Like, we don't deserve to throw our names. Hey, we're not having kids. Like, fuck you. Who cares? Shut up. Like, you're not fucking special. You're fucking, and you're being fucking wildly arrogant to the people that can't have fucking children. You know what I mean? Stop rubbing that in their fucking faces because that's devastating for a lot of fucking people. Mm-hmm. Shut up. Mm-hmm. You're not special.
Yeah, and that's my only kind of thing about it is because sometimes when you see these big public declarations that people make, it's more for their own recognition and platitudes than for the truth behind it. So, we'll see if she's putting her money where her mouth is, if she's really making, changes and not necessarily, I mean, maybe she just doesn't want kids because, kids are shits.
And again, like, cool, congratulations. That shouldn't be fucking, like, I don't know. I don't think that's something that people should have to declare. Like, we're not, this isn't fucking post-World War II fucking America where, like, fuck, man, a shit ton of fucking of our working class died.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And, there is, look, you know it personally. There's still a lot of people that say to you, when are you going to have kids? Why aren't you having kids? What's wrong with you? Why don't you want kids? There's still a lot of pressure on people, especially once you're coupled up to produce.
Yeah. Why aren't you having children? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Why don't you take care of yours? Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Like, leave me alone. I think, not that it's like even too personal to talk about. It's just, man, it's wildly arrogant.
Nobody's business.
It's ignorant and that, like, it's not your fucking business. Like,
you don't ask people. If people volunteer the information, that's different. But I mean, I've been guilty of that too. I've done that in the past. Now I try not to be so.
I never ask when are you. I always say, you guys planning on having children?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's if I give enough of a fuck about you to try to get to know you, and chances of that are slim.
And the thing too is like, like say somebody who's been together as long as you and Liz have been. Now I know you guys don't plan on having children, but what if I'd never asked that and suddenly I asked you that question and you guys weren't able to? That's a horrible thing to have to then say,
publicly. Because I mean, at that point in time, like, I've been with her for fucking ever, and I haven't said that, then that's obviously something that's uncomfortable and uneasy for someone.
Yeah, and that could, you don't want to cause undue pain to people.
Right. I don't know. I just think it's like, you don't need to make an announcement about that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't need to make an announcement. And the other thing is, like, stop asking people. Stop asking women and men.
Yeah.
When are they going to have children, or when are they going to get married? Some people don't want to get married. Some people want to be together. They don't need the piece of paper. We talk about equal rights for gay people to get married, and that's great because now they've got that here in Canada and in a lot of countries in the world. Now we can also talk about the right for people to not get married if they choose to.
Again, this isn't the post-war shit. Like, and I think that's what a lot of it is. It is still just the boomers, their voices echoing that kind of stuff, right? Because that's what they were taught. Like, the working force died. We needed people to fuck. We needed kids. Like, we needed a working force. Like, they were fucking dead. Like, I don't know if people remember what the 2 Great Wars were about, but fuck.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore.
You're talking about millions of people disappearing from the population.
Right. It's not like that anymore. Those levels of manufacturing jobs where you needed a plant full of 4,000 people, they're gone. That doesn't exist anymore.
We got robots for that now.
You know what I mean? That are fucking, unfortunately, children in fucking China.
Yeah.
But like
Indonesia, China, Africa, Bangladesh, all these countries. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, more and more people are doing this. I mean, I think Vice did an article about this exact same thing like 7, 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the older generation of millennials, like that fucking, you know, the older spectrum of it, where they're just not having kids because it's too fucking expensive and we're overcrowded. There's not going to be any work for them.
And you know what? Even if it weren't those things, even if it's just you don't want a fucking kid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like kids. I don't want to be a parent or whatever. I want to do what I want to do. Fuck kids, you know? Good. You don't have to justify it, you know?
I mean, again, like, I want a fucking whole hockey line of kids when I was a teenager. Like, I wanted, like, fucking 6 fucking kids. And then I started living my life. You know what I mean? I started going out and I started doing stuff. And I was like, fuck this shit. Like, what are we doing?
You like sleeping in? You don't get to when you have kids. You know, do you like just saying, oh, you know what? Tonight we're going out to dinner and we're going to a movie. You can't do that all the time with kids.
If I had kids, I wouldn't have been able to book my flight to Singapore today. You know what I mean?
You're going to Singapore?
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool. I get it. My buddy says this all the time, like, oh, I'll have my loved ones around me when I'm dying. Yeah, that's gravy, bro. Like, that's cool. I mean, that doesn't
you know
affect
what?
me at all.
Here's the thing about dying. Here's the thing about dying. Even if you have your loved ones around you,
you're still dying.
You're the only one who experiences it.
Right? Like, you're still dying.
Do you know what I mean? Even if someone's holding you in their arms and stroking your hair and telling you you're not alone, you still die. You still suffer if there's pain. You still suffer if there's fear.
Right. You're still dying. Like, it is what it is. I don't give a fuck about that.
And most of us don't die with our loved ones around us. We die in bed or on the toilet.
Yeah.
So.
Or like me, possibly in Bangkok when I fly from there when I'm in Singapore.
Oh my God, you're going to Bangkok? You're going to be on
I'm doing all of it. I'm doing all of it. I'm going to have so much fucking fun.
Oh my God. I see that. I'm happy for you. That's like a nightmare trip for me. That's the one trip you're doing that I will not be jealous of.
I'm not really big on, like, and it's fucking weird because I love concerts, but I go to concerts and I get mosh pits and there's space, at least if you start throwing elbows. You can't do that in city streets, you know what I mean?
No.
So, and I'm not the biggest fan of fucking crowds, so Southeast Asia is going to be a really, really, really interesting trip for me. But
yeah. Do you know what though? I watched that. Oh God, what was that movie called? Crazy Rich Asians, and they're in Singapore for that city is beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's kind of half the reason why we wanted to go there because we watched that and we're like, yeah, that looks fucking dope.
It's so beautiful.
Their airport looks fucking amazing. Like, it all looks fucking great.
Yeah, even stayed in the airport.
Yeah,
like,
let's
whoa.
just go there. I had a friend that went there a little while ago and she sent me a fucking snap and they had like hypercars just on the wall in their airport. I was like, yo, this is fucking nuts.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. No,
you're going to have an amazing time.
Yeah.
You and Liz are the kind of people that would love those kind of trips. So that is a nightmare trip for me.
Oh, fuck. I mean,
I would starve to die. Actually, we went to a party and we were talking to the husband of one of Scott's childhood friends. And they're like super richy rich, right? And they travel all over the world. And he's so funny because, you know, you're looking at this guy who's traveled the world. He's super rich. And he's like, oh, I go to like Tokyo and I live in McDonald's. He goes, my wife is eating everything and I'm eating like French fries. Yeah. I'm like, same. That would be me.
Oh, fuck that. I mean, it's true. Like, I can't wait to eat like street scorpion and shit. Like,
yeah. Oh, you're going to have a blast. When's your trip? When are you going?
We're leaving January 17th to February 5th, I think.
Oh, a nice long trip. 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, 18 days.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking, it's going to be
because that's the kind of, you want to do like adventures. And you, like I said, you and Liz will love that kind of thing. Just kind of.
You have to think, like, the fucking flight over there. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Like, that's so
oh my God, long. You're not going to be smoking.
I quit smoking.
You did?
Yeah, I've quit smoking for like 4 months now.
Did I know that or did I forget?
No, I haven't. I just don't really talk about it.
Fantastic. I'm so happy for you.
Because it's not like, because that's it right there. Because I don't deserve congratulations. I
stopped doing
something I shouldn't have been fucking doing.
Everybody who quits something that's super hard like that does deserve a congratulations. Yes, I know.
Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of where my head's with it.
For you.
Like, I stopped doing something I shouldn't have been doing.
Oh my God, you're just going to be like so rich and like not cigarette money.
Oh no, because now I've been buying a whole lot more dope. So.
Oh, okay. So one vice to the next.
Oh fuck! Oh goddamn! I'm on these Kush oil pens. Whew.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Oh, speaking of which, Ryan, I hope you had fun with yours.
Oh, you just outed Ryan.
Yeah, fucking right, I did. Welcome to it, bud. Only buddy. Nah, they're good. They're weak. They're fucking.
Yeah.
They're weak as shit.
Yeah, I think we're gonna order a weak one for my husband. My husband's been having a lot of neck pain, and he's at the point where he's willing to try something because he doesn't want to get onto like actual painkillers.
No, I have a friend whose nan has been on like hardcore fucking like painkillers for arthritis for years. Yeah. And I mean fucking years. And grew up in that like reefer madness era. Yeah. She started using the CBD Kush oil and she feels fucking fantastic. And again, it's such a low THC. You hit it, you go to sleep, you wake up feeling fucking like
that's what we're hoping, because he's been diagnosed with arthritis in his discs and he has degeneration already. And I mean, the guy's only 45.
It's amazing. Like, you don't like, I think that's what a lot of people are kind of stuck up on, is the fact that they hear it and they're like, oh my god, you're getting high. Well, no, it's not everything is like 70 some odd percent fucking THC. You can get stuff that is literally like 1%.
Yeah.
And it's just from what kind of put you out.
His insurance, apparently, his work insurance will cover some medical marijuana. So we'll talk to the doctor next time we see her, and we'll see. But he's going to try. We're going to just order some stuff online, and we'll see what works.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a great option. I've seen it work.
Now,
I've read the.
Since you're my expert, should we go with a flavored one, or does it matter? Do they taste disgusting no matter what?
I mean, it all tastes like weed to me.
Okay.
I mean, the Kush oil. I mean, oil is a little different because of how they process it, right? It kind of tastes a little like CO2. So if you're not used to that, like it might fuck with you a bit, but it's fine. It tastes. Okay. I mean, it almost tastes like what, like a doctor's room, like a doctor's office smells like. Do you know what I mean?
That antiseptic smell.
That, like, sterile kind of.
I love that smell.
Yeah, it's because again, they use very clean gas to draw the fucking. Concentrates out of the flower.
I really feel like, because I grew up in a not tidy house, that I love, and I'm still living in a not tidy house, that I love the smell of like bleach and pine sol and rubbing alcohol, because that to me is like such a clean smell.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you can get 100% CBD. Like, it comes in like crystallized form. I mean, you're supposed to like put it in a joint and smoke it, but I'm sure you can ingest.
I think we'll just start with some really low levels to start and see what he needs as he goes.
Like I said, the one I sent you on the syringe, the distillate, that, I mean, again, anyone listening, if you're in Canada especially and you got arthritis, like, try the shit. It's very low THC, like not even enough that like the best fucking piss test would ever fucking notice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's 90 to 95% fucking like pure CBD. So it's
CBD is the one that the there's not a lot of research. We don't know yet, but right? We know it doesn't make you high. Exactly.
Yeah, there's no high to it.
That's the one thing to get a lot of the benefits, the medical benefits.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, for arthritis, for like pretty much everyone I've ever heard, read, talked to that's used it, it's fucking amazing.
This is the Charlotte's Web is the strain that the guys in Colorado made for the little girl that she was having like 20 seizures a day. She was nonverbal. She couldn't speak. She barely ate. She couldn't walk. She started to take that, and within a few days she was able to speak. She's a normal little girl now. Doesn't have seizures. All because she's been taking cannabis oil. So we know there's medical benefits. We just need the governments to start granting more money for research.
That, and people like just read, like
get rid of the prejudice against it.
Yeah, read. It's the information's there. I mean, a lot of it's still in its infancy because it was fucking illegal for so goddamn long. But I mean, there are people that have been fucking with this for like 30, 35 years. You know, like the concept of this stuff being great medicine, and there's a lot of proof to it out there if you just want to look. Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I will update when we get it and he tries it. We'll let you guys know what he's feeling. Because, I mean, this is a guy who hasn't really been able to turn his neck comfortably in decades. He's had this problem for a long time, and just, you're just like, oh, my neck's stiff or whatever, and you don't do anything about it.
Yeah, so. You go on with your day. It's just how it is. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. But no, I'm willing to put money on the fact that it helps him out a lot. I really am. Like, I think
it will too. I really do think it will.
Like, I put my full faith in
and this is a guy, the whole time I've known him, I think he's been pretty anti-drug. He's been anti-medicine. I mean, now that he's been forced to take his blood pressure and his cholesterol medicine, and he feels good, he's realizing that medicines can be helpful.
Yeah. Oh, no, like, I get that. I'm the same way. Like it's a pain in the ass to get me to take like Advil if I have a headache or some shit.
Yeah, he doesn't take Tylenol, Advil, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
And like again, like I know I talk shit about the whole holistic thing, and I'm not saying like marijuana is a cure all. Like it's not going to cure fucking cancer. It's not going to like you know what I mean. But
your HIV is not going to disappear, but you're not going to have as much pain.
Small pains like CBD has just fucking
and allow you to eat, especially if you're on chemo or you're any kind of problem, syndrome, disease where you can't eat.
I mean, I've never taken like a fucking medicinal like meal enhancer or whatever the fuck it'd be called. You know what I mean? Like something that's gonna make me want to eat. But you get me the right kind of pot, and I will clean your fucking fridge out. Like I ain't even fucking around. Like, I'm just hungry. Like I can't put it any more places, but I am fucking starving.
Oh, the carbo load.
So you know what? Exactly. So if you have something that you're just not. You know what I mean? It makes you not hungry. Yeah, you smoke a joint, like you're gonna fucking eat, and it's great.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think.
And it's completely legal here now, so you can't judge us. So fuck off.
Yeah. Well, it's not completely legal. Like some stuff's still kind of frowned upon because our government's fucking stupid.
But they are going to be bringing edibles and more oils available in Ontario.
Yeah, by next year.
Yeah,
which is all right.
I think by the fall. No, the fall of this year, right?
Oh, that's right. It is that they're going to try to do it for the anniversary of legalization.
Yeah, so like all the shops that are existing, and I guess the online cannabis shop, which is a joke, they'll start having things available, but they can't look like gummy bears because kids want to eat gummy. This is the thing. Can I also say this to people? Look, if you want to have edibles, wonderful, go for it. If you have little children that don't know they shouldn't eat your gummy bears, don't get gummy bears. You know what I mean? Or put them where the kid literally, put them in your freaking frozen asparagus bag or something. Like, don't leave them where a kid is going to find a gummy bear. Come on.
Don't hide the shit. We got to treat this stuff like booze. Do you know what I mean? Like, you
have this is an adult drink.
Right, exactly. You have a liquor cabinet, and your kids might get into it, especially when they're older. And like, that's
13,
just a
14, they start.
That's just, par for the course. But I think that's another thing. If we hide it and we still treat it like it's this bad thing that we're not supposed to be doing, more people are going to still stay within their bullshit. But I mean,
that's one of the things I told the kids when they were little. Like, because they're like, oh, you're swearing. I'm like, you know what? There's words that our adults can say. They're adult words. Yep. There's adult drinks. Adults sometimes smoke. Some adults, do drugs. Adults drive cars. Adults go to war. There's things that adults do that children don't do. Right? Now my kids swear. Oh my God, my daughter's got a mouth like a trucker. Cool.
Right. That's pretty much how I was told. You know what I mean? Like, you're a kid until you're 18, and then when you're 18, fuck, the world's yours. Like, have at her. You know what I mean? If you can fucking pay for it, fucking knock yourself out. But
but I mean, like, when kids are really little, 2 and 3, like, you see these kids bringing them to school. Just like, don't bring a gummy bear into the house, because like, trust me, I fucking. Even here's the thing. I love fucking gummy. Like, gummy bears are my jam. I go to the bulk barn and I buy a bag of them and I eat like 5 or 6 of them at a time, even though I have diabetes and I'm not supposed to. If I had edible gummy bears in my house, I know I would have to check into the hospital because I would eat them all because I like gummy and I would just eat them and that would be bad.
Yeah, probably. But maybe not.
Because I couldn't resist the gummy. Now, if it was chocolate, no problem. I would never eat the chocolate, Yeah.
But I mean, I can understand that. I think that's fair. You know what I mean? No marijuana product should be sold or packaged that's like fucking cool for kids. You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with that. And
Happy Funtime gummy bears.
Right. That's why I even would even like the whole stoner culture around it, like where they do even try to make the marijuana leaves look cartoony and shit like that. Like, I've never enjoyed that, and I think that might be it because it does kind of. It's like, oh, hey kids, look, like, you want to be cool and edgy? Come fucking smoke this joint. Like,
I'm
a fucking teenager. A, of course, and B, I don't need to be fucking told to.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you don't need a cartoon character to encourage you to smoke. No. You know what I mean? Like, Joe Camel, I'm sure didn't really make anybody smoke a cigarette. They smoked it because they thought they're going to look cool, or because they weren't supposed to, or maybe mom and dad smoked and they thought they wanted to be like them. Whatever the reasons be, nobody smoked Camels because they saw Joe Camel.
No. But you know what
unless
I mean?
They were like, went to the store and were like, I'm going to buy a pack of cigarettes and I don't know what to choose, so I'll just choose that one.
But I get the level of thinking. Like, I get the level, like, no, you can't have them gummy bears because, your kid will want to eat them. Like, yeah, that makes fucking sense. Like, we shouldn't be allowed to do
like,
that.
certain ages, your kid needs to learn how to restrict themselves. If your kid is 8,
You know
and you say,
I mean?
these are my gummy bears because mommy gets chronic pain. And if you take this, it's going to make you very sick. And this is for adults only. That's different. But if your kid's like 4 and 5, they have no willpower. They're going to see gummy and they're going to
absolutely. And even at that point in time, if your kid's 4 and 5 and you left a fucking unopened bottle of whiskey on the table, they're going to take a drink.
Oh my God, I remember when you downed my dad's fucking Ryan Coke. We were all in the kitchen and you walked up to the Ryan Coke and chugged it.
It sounds like me.
Chugged it like a beast. See, this kid was a toddler, like not even 2 years old probably. Chugged it and then slammed it down on the glass coffee table and destroyed the glass coffee table.
Yeah.
He was breaking shit, from birth, let me tell you.
That sounds like me. Yeah, you know what I mean, though? But there it is, though. Like, we're pretty okay with, like, the looseness of alcohol. And I've had some people say this about me, like, smoking fucking
beers
pot
at
like parties where kids are at. Like, oh, man, no, go around the barn. Why? Like, what the fuck's the difference? Like, I'm sitting here fucking...
If you teach them responsibility at an early age, the same as responsible drinking.
Like, contact high...
Like, you're going to have kids... No, it doesn't exist.
Right,
kids that are going to drink or get into weed at 8 or 9 are going to do that no matter what. There's just certain types of kids that are going to do that. There's kids like me that never got involved in that stuff, even though I saw people drinking. I saw people doing drugs. It was never one for me. I never did that as 17, I think, when I first started to have alcohol very occasionally.
Yeah.
There's just different types of kids. But, I mean, you teach them. My parents never taught me responsibility ever. It's just like, don't do this. That's how we don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right?
And I've said for fucking years that's the dumbest thing you can do. Don't tell me not to do something. Tell me why I shouldn't be doing it. Like what's going to happen. And don't.
This is what I tried to do.
Don't belittle me either. You know what I mean? Because
the first time my kids drank, and the first time my kids, got into the weed, they told me. Was I happy? Of course not. But I'm like, were you smart? That's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Please be smart.
No, I didn't get that luxury. I got told what I can and can't fucking do. And then, like I said before,
especially a kid like you, that's never going to work. No. That's like my son. If I tried to tell Logan, don't do drugs, you think that he could do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah. And like I said, like, don't lie to your kids, because the worst thing is that I kept being told, like, don't fucking smoke pot, like, it's fucking blah, 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 blah. And then I did, and I realized, like, fuck, this isn't that bad. What else did they fucking lie to me about?
You lie to your kids, and they ask you, oh, did you ever do it? And you say no.
Yeah. And then find out years later that they're lying through their fucking teeth.
And the mom are hypocrites.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I can't trust them.
Yeah.
So I had a little loophole in that, because I could say I never smoked drugs when I was a teenager, because I never did. Right? I was an adult the first time I tried it. So, I never lied to my kids about that.
Oh, that's fair. And I mean, luckily enough, like, I can't say, like, especially my father, he never lied to me about that shit. Like, he was always very honest with me about, like, his own shit when he was a kid. But it was still the, like, don't do this. Well, why not? Because I fucking said so. And it's like, well, fuck you. Like, because
you can't. You gotta tell them.
Why not? Like, what's wrong with me doing this? You know what I mean? Not fucking, like, it's just bad. Like, why? Why is it bad? Like, what makes it bad? Because I see people drinking, and you're saying I can't drink because it's bad, but fucking tons of people are drinking. So, like, what the fuck else? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how a kid, especially
now that it is legal in Canada, you really do need to teach your kids responsibility and safety on this issue, because things can get out of hand.
And it's not fucking going anywhere. Like, people need to like, again, we need to approach this shit like alcohol, like we do with alcohol. Not like still. I'll even hear people, go to a concert or what have you, and you're smoking whatever, and they'll make a comment about it, and it's, well, we're also drinking here.
Yeah.
Commenting on that. Like, this isn't the fucking thing it was last year. You know what I mean?
Oh, there were so many people smoking weed at Pride yesterday. Yeah. Like, cool, go for it.
Tons of people are smoking weed everywhere in the city, and I love it. Like, I can't go down there without fucking passing tons of people who you wouldn't even expect fucking just getting high out of their faces, and I love it.
Lit right on the streets, man.
Right?
Trust me, I thought about it, but I was driving, so I couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, you have to be responsible. I knew I was driving. Sorry.
It's no different than drinking. Don't fucking do it.
Yeah, I don't do that either. I don't like drinking, though. It's so long.
Yeah, I like drinking.
I don't like it.
I like drinking. I like doing drugs.
Like 1 or 2 drinks is okay for me, but I don't like to be drunk. I don't like to feel like the spins. I don't like to feel like I'm going to throw up, because I have my throwing up phobia. Mm-hmm. So I don't like that. Which is why I don't like drinking.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So, but there's other ways to feel great.
I just figure I'm a grown-ass man, and I don't puke anymore.
Oh, well, good for you.
I mean, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. Oh, but that's what I think. That's what I fucking think. You're a grown ass man, and you don't fucking puke.
You know, one bottle of rye later,
right?
Wakes up and vomit.
Yeah, fuck, man.
That's the thing. I don't want to puke, and trust me, it doesn't happen very often. But the odd time Scott throws up, I'm mad at him. I'm like, why'd you get so fucking drunk? That pisses me off.
It's surprising.
Because even if he cleans it up, I still have to go in and clean it up better. Yeah.
Well, it's surprisingly easy. Like it really is to just cross that line. And then you're like, okay, well.
And it's all the little things that add up. Did you eat enough food in that day? Because if you didn't eat enough food, you got a much better chance of throwing up.
Yep. Oh, fuck.
And what are you drinking? And how much are you drinking? And how fast are you drinking it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. What are you going to do? Be responsible, people. Make sure you eat a heavy meal before you drink. And don't, what is it? Never switch? Beer before liquor?
Fucking grow up.
I don't. Usually I just drink one type of drink. If I'm drinking, coolers, I just drink coolers. Sometimes I'll do shots. Like if I'm at a party, I'll do shots.
But I mean, I get it. It does get a little wonky, but grow up. Fucking handle your shit better. Like, again, I'm not one to talk. That'd make me throw up, but I'm still like, fuck you.
Can I just say, like, this is the thing that makes me laugh. So I have a few people, and they're my age. I see them on Facebook. And every weekend they're doing shots and partying like they're 19 at their first, club. And I'm just like I get if it's your birthday. I get if you're going to the cottage, for a week or whatever. But every weekend, you're not a party girl. You're 45 years old. Get over it. It doesn't look cute to me. It looks sad if every week you're doing Jello shots and partying.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, I'm not. I agree with you. It's a little like, come on. Like, come on.
I'm trying not to be judgmental, but
exactly,
the judgmental part of me really comes out, and I can't help it.
Yeah.
Because I am the kind of like live your life, but at 47, it's not cute when you're like, your mascara is running down your face every weekend and you look a mess, okay?
But like at the same point, live your life. Like
I know.
But
I know.
But
take care of your grandbaby the next day, and
I try so hard not to judge people. Like I really do. Like fucking live your life. Like who am I to fucking say shit to you? But I get it. Like it's like, oh, that's cringy. Like
it is. That's the thing.
Your grandkids could be out there partying with you. Like calm it down.
Oh my god.
Calm it down. Like this isn't.
Yeah, that's true. When you get to the point where your grandkids are old enough to party with you, do you stop or do you embrace it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it all depends though, right? Like, because
it's different if you're having a few drinks, you're sitting around the fire and you're chilling at the cottage and you're having a few drinks. That's cool. I have no problem with that. If Logan wanted to come upstairs and have a couple drinks with me, but he's not a drinker. He's the same as me. He's not a drinker. Neither really so far as Marley. They don't really like to drink. I don't know if that's the effect of seeing Scott and other people, or they just have my who cares?
Yeah.
But if they want to come up and have, even Marley at 17, if she wanted to come up and say, Mom, can we have a couple drinks? I'd be like, cool, let's have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
Am I gonna like get rip roaring drunk with my daughter and do shots and no.
See, but like, why not? It might be fun because I mean,
well, she's still only 17. I'm not gonna party with her like
fair.
that. Logan, I wanted to take Logan out for his birthday and have a couple of drinks. He didn't want to. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, because I mean, I've never really drank with my dad except for once, and that was my 19th, and I had a blast from what I can remember and what I was told.
I think I had a blast.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I remember I had a really good time until I couldn't remember anymore.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
I get it.
But you don't want to do that every weekend with your dad.
Fuck no. I'm just in all honesty,
when I party with your nan every weekend?
Oh no. Fuck no. Even that. Yeah. Okay. So first off, when I see that kind of stuff, and it's really big in celebrity culture, like the 40 to like 60-year-old crowd out there clubbing and all that shit. It is cringy and it's sad. Like, come on, give it up. Like, you know what I mean? You want to do it once in a while? Fucking cool.
That's my kind of thing. I like going to a wedding because that's kind of like what I like. They play the music I like. Yeah. It's not, a meat market where people are trying to pick me up. That's what or I'm not being rejected because I'm so old and fat. Nobody wants me. Do you know what I mean? I'm just there to have fun. Like, I don't want to go to a bar where a guy's going to be like, ew, look, who's this old fat lady? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not fun.
No, that's fair. And, like, the other part is the people that get into that drinking lifestyle, like that partying lifestyle, and then they can't party anymore, and it just becomes the sitting in an apartment drinking lifestyle.
Yeah.
And they do that for the next 20, 30, 40 fucking years. Like, that to me is where because I mean that's just where I saw that shit lead to. So
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I mean, even when I was younger, I never was one. I mean, we went to the bars, trust me, and I had, I danced and I had fun, but it was never like, oh, I want to go every weekend. I never really was one to go out every weekend. I'm not into that. I really am just the homebody that wants to sit at home and chill.
Yeah. I mean, now I like going to friends' houses and getting fucking wasted. You know what I mean? Like
I used to like that, but now that I know how to drive, I'm always the DD, so that doesn't happen ever anymore.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, Scott did it for so many years. What am I supposed to do? Now it's my turn.
No, that's absolutely fair. Man, I don't know. I get that.
Yeah. I mean, if it was something I really want to go to, then we take a taxi, right?
Yeah. Things for me is like traveling. I get fucking lit. I get lit because like, why else am I here? You know what I mean? I'm here to party. Like I'm here.
Oh my god! See, I would be afraid to be like lit in another country.
Oh fuck no! Oh my god, it's so much fun.
I'm too fearful of stuff like that, Arthur. I've seen too many movies. I'm scared of that shit. I'm not fare thee well, caution to the wind like you.
It's true. Like I'm like literally one stranger away from ending up in like Hostel the movie. Like I'm not even fucking around. Like me and Liz are talking with that.
You guys want to come over to the house?
Like sure. we were fucking. I can't remember what we were doing. We were driving somewhere and we were talking about that, and it's true. Like I'm literally one fucking random stranger. There's a lot of
people that travel that way. They really do travel and meet strangers and go wherever they are. And like, oh, you want to go to a party with me? Sure, it sounds fun, and they go.
Yeah, I mean, people are fucking rad. Like, I don't know, like. I've never heard like of any like real horror movie shit happening. You know what I mean? So like, I guess I'm not. Really
normally that happens more to like single women or women in couples.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not usually when the man's involved. Very rarely does that happen.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm.
And then if they do, they're getting involved with some like crazy drug crew or something.
And that's why like I'm kind of scared to go to, like certain places because like I could really do some fucking stupid shit. Because
Arthur,
I'm one person away.
I will send you letters when you're in your Singaporean prison. Remember, Singapore's super ultra strict. So
no, trust me.
Like if there's no, I don't know if you can swear on the streets there and shit. Be careful.
I got it. I'm good.
Yeah, I know you do your research.
Yeah,
so
I'm not too worried. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I mean, within Europe, it's kind of more of a problem. That's for fucking sure. But
yeah,
I really am. Like even in life. Like, I just meet people. I like meeting people.
It's after you know them that you don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we went a little bit over, but thanks for listening. Oh my God, I'm working so many days this week, but I'm working Wednesday in the day. So I will be home in the evening. If I'm still awake and everybody's around, we'll have a show. So thanks for listening and have a good couple days.
Take care.
Bye.